Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today's March 19th, and we are here at the Board of Police Commissioners Board meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and we have our invocation today being given by Commander Chaplain Leslie Walker on Zoom.
Good afternoon. Chaplain Ison here.
Good afternoon.
Let us look to the Lord. Father God, we come before you now, thanking you for this day, thanking you for your loving kindness and your tender mercies. God, we ask that you will be in this meeting. Bless the leaders, bless each commissioner, give them wisdom and knowledge of what to do and how to do. Lord, we ask that you will continue to bless our chief of police, our mayor, our citizens. We thank you for this time of gathering and you be in everything and everything be done decent and in order. This is our prayer in Jesus' name, of the Father, we ask. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. And now, could we have the roll call, please? Madam Secretary.
All right. Commissioner DeWalsh,
Present.
Commissioner Bowman. All right. Commissioner Camille,
Present.
Commissioner Ivy,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Present.
Commissioner Morris,
Present.
Commissioner Watts, here, Commissioner Williams.
Present.
Madam Chair, 7 present, and thus far, the remaining 3 commissioners have indicated they will be present.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Can I get an approval for the March 19th agenda, please?
So moved, Madam Chair.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jones.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Watts. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of March 12th, 2026?
To be moved.
Commissioner Chair DeWalsh,
Yes.
if I may, there's one correction for Commissioner Williams was present. He wasn't present at roll call, but he was present at the meeting.
Oh, for the minutes, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I apologize for that error.
Okay.
Thursday, March 12th.
All right. So for the minutes of March 12th with that correction, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Well, I think it was moved by Commissioner Williams.
I'll support.
And seconded by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. And then could we get approval of the minutes, a motion to approve the minutes of March 13th, 2026?
Be moved.
Support.
Commissioner Williams moved. It was supported by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Could we also get a motion to approve the closed session minutes of March 13th, 2026 regarding Police Officer Deron Crawford?
To be moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Williams.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Ivy. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge that Commissioner Bowman has joined us. All right. Thank you. Could we get the, Madam Secretary, introduction of the staff, Chief of Police officials and elected officials and representatives and community leaders, please?
Through the chair, present at this time are as follows. Jonya Underwood, Teresa Blossom, Dior Mathis, Candace Hayes, Armani Arnold, Armesia Joshua, Mary Barber, Felicia Tyson, Drew Freeze, Dr. Francis Jackson, parliamentarian, is present via Zoom. Deputy Chief Mark Bliss for the Office of Chief of Police, BOPC Chief Investigator Jerome Warfield Sr., I believe Senior Investigator, Supervising Investigator Tiffany Stewart, is also present. Today's interpreters are Angelique Taylor and Stephanie Beatty. Court reporter, Hanson Court Reporting. Audio, Enrique Jackson. Media Services, Jason Gant. Also registered at this time are Marie Overall, Vice President, 4th Precinct Community Relations Council, and representing State Legislator Tyrone Carter's office, Ms. Frida Butler, 2nd Precinct Community Activist. I don't see Mark here. Okay. I don't see Vanya. That will conclude those who are absent who are registered at this time, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Woods has joined us. At this time for my report, well, I just have one thing I want to say, and that is Commissioner Watts' birthday is today, and she's here. I mean, that's truly commitment, if I say so myself. So happy birthday to you, Commissioner.
Chair, I just received couple other persons who are registered at this time.
Okay, go ahead.
J. Gregory Love of Councilmember Renita Miller's office, City Council. Also Nicole Fisher of the 4th Precinct Community Relations Council, and William Davis, former police commissioner, as well as former police commissioner Ricardo Moore. And I believe those are all that are registered at this time. Thank you,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Also, under my report, we're going to have a couple of resolutions, and I know one is supposed to be read by Commissioner Carter, so I'm going to do Commissioner Bowman's first, and hopefully she'll be in attendance by then. So Commissioner Bowman, you have a resolution?
Oh, okay, I can just read it directly here. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I just got in here. All right, so here we go.
Can I just ask, is the person, oh, no, this is a church or a group, right?
Yeah, it's
An
for
organization.
Remnant Worshipers Ministry, which is a church. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is a resolution honoring the Remnant Worshipers Ministry. Whereas the Remnant Worshipers Ministry, founded in 2004 under the leadership of Pastor G. Peggy McIntosh, has faithfully served the city of Detroit for over 2 decades through spiritual guidance, outreach, and community service, and the ministry has demonstrated a strong commitment to supporting residents by addressing food insecurity through large-scale food distribution and providing clothing, supplies, and resources to individuals and families in need. And whereas through the partnership and outreach efforts, including initiatives led by Reverend Dr. Eddie Connor, the ministry has served tens of thousands of individuals and supported vulnerable populations, including those experiencing homelessness. And whereas the ministry also promotes mental health awareness and overall wellness, contributing to a stronger and more resilient community. And whereas Detroit Board of Police Commissioners recognizes the vital role of community organizations in enhancing public safety and improving quality of life. And therefore, be it resolved that Detroit Board of Police Commissioners hereby honors the Remnant Worshipers Ministry for its dedication, compassion, and outstanding service to the people of Detroit, and expressing its sincere appreciation for its continued impact on the community. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be presented to Remnant Worshipers Ministries as a symbol of the board's gratitude and recognition.
Great. And you're making a motion to approve this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. A motion has been made by Commissioner Bowman,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Williams,
Support.
and supported by Commissioner Ivey, and I think that's it, right? Okay, we have enough. Motions, all right. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Our next resolution, you haven't heard from Commissioner Carter yet?
Not as of yet.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and ask Commissioner Williams if he'll read it, right?
Right.
Baptism by fire.
Okay, resolution honoring retiring civilian Reginald Burks. Whereas Reginald Burks began his career with the city of Detroit on November 12, 1985 as a microbiologist at the wastewater treatment plant in the Water and Sewage Department. In 1987, he transferred to the Detroit Police Department, where he began his distinguished career as a photographer with Central Photographic Arts, ultimately becoming a highly respected expert in his field. And whereas Mr. Burks photographed thousands of police cadets, departmental personnel, executive leaderships, identification images, and countless community events, contributing significantly to the department's public image and historical record. His professional excellence extended beyond the department's, benefiting numerous law enforcement agencies. In 2006, he attended advanced training at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Okay. Becoming the first member of Central Photo to achieve this distinction. And whereas Mr. Burke has photographed notable political figures, athletes, and political figures, while also documenting major civic events, including championship parades, the Grand Prix, the Detroit Winter Tug Across the River, and the Free Press International Marathon. Among his most cherished professional experiences was documenting the historic 1990 visit of South African President Nelson Mandela, where he was granted full access to the event from arrival through public address. And whereas Mr. Burks hold a bachelor's degree from the University of Michigan, is a proud member of Kappa Alpha Phi fraternity, and has been inducted into the Detroit Negro Leagues Softball Hall of Fame in recognition of his photographic contributions to the preservation of the sport's history. Beyond his professional accomplishments, his career reflects unwavering commitment, professionalism, and a deep dedication to both the Detroit Police Department and the people it serves. Therefore, be resolved that the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners hereby recognizes with deep appreciation and respect Reginald Burks for his remarkable career, outstanding service, dedication, and contributions to the Detroit Police Department and the city of Detroit.
A motion?
A motion to be passed.
Okay, a motion has been made by Commissioner Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Ivy has seconded the motion. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you so much. And I think the officer had his retirement yesterday, or at least that's what I was told. So he is not present today, but we'll make sure that he gets this resolution. Thank you so much. And at this time, we're ready for the chief's report. Thank you, DC Bliss.
Good afternoon.
Good
At the
afternoon.
board's pleasure, I could do the chief report out or the recommendation. Which one would you like first?
The recommendations, please.
Through the chair, would you like the commander recommendation first?
Sure, that's how I have it in the agenda.
I recommend the Captain Lori Carter be appointed to the rank of commander. Captain Lori Carter joined the Detroit Police Department on November 15th, 1999. serving in multiple precincts and roles, including patrol, field training officer, and school-based assignments, where she mentored at-risk youth and provided executive protection details. Promoted to sergeant in 2013, she supervised patrol operations, conducted internal and force investigations, and implemented crime reduction strategies. In 2017, she was promoted to lieutenant. She was promoted to lieutenant, where she led patrol operations, managed detention center functions, and worked closely with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office on investigations. In 2022, she was promoted to captain and has since held leadership roles across several commands, including Special Victims, Disciplinary Administration, and the Detroit Detention Center. Captain Carter holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, a graduate certificate in business leadership, and a master's in business administration. She is a dedicated and enthusiastic leader committed to mentoring others and serving the Detroit community. I recommend her appointment to the rank of commander.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jones, supported by Commissioner Watts. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Do you have another motion? Another recommendation, a DC?
Yes.
Want her to say something?
Yeah, after we'll have both.
The recommendation for Lieutenant John Gardner to be appointed to the rank of captain. Lieutenant John Gardner was appointed to the Detroit Police Department on November 12, 2003, and began his career in patrol at the 9th Precinct following graduation from the Training Academy. Throughout his tenure as a police officer, he served in multiple precincts and specialized units, gaining extensive experience in patrol operations, surveillance, investigations, and crime scene management. Promoted to sergeant in 2016 and later to master sergeant in 2019, Gardner demonstrated strong leadership in patrol, special operations, and ceasefire initiatives. In 2023, Gardner was promoted to lieutenant and continued his assignment in 9th Precinct Special Operations, focusing on violent gang crime. His leadership and efforts contributed to a 10% reduction in homicides, a 58% decrease in non-fatal shootings, and a 29% decline in gunfire incidents through ShotSpotter enforcement. Lieutenant Gardner holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from Cleary University and is currently enrolled in the Detroit Police Department Leadership Academy at Wayne State University. He has completed extensive specialized training and serves on the Lieutenants and Sergeants Association Board of Directors. I recommend his appointment to the rank of captain.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Watts, supported by Commissioner Woods. Is there any discussion?
Jones.
I'm sorry, Jones. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, a discussion I have is that, and through the chair, that I see that this was dated for the 16th. One was, the first one was dated for the 16th, and the other one was dated for the 13th. Have we done all that due diligence with these and been able to research this story?
Through the chair, could you give me those dates again? I'm
Definitely.
trying to understand.
It says on, this is, says March 16th, 2026
On,
For the commander.
for the commander, and March 13th for the captain. And I want to know what kind of due diligence was done to vet both of these candidates.
I'm not certain, okay, so the appointment, request for the appointment was dated from the chief's office March 13th. On both the appointment to the rank of captain, appointment to the rank of commander were received in your office on March 17th. Immediately thereafter, we received the clearance letter and documents from Office of Chief Investigator, as well as we received the packet from DPD,
Yeah, but
from all
yeah,
command,
so
and the,
excuse me. So we had no opportunity to really vet these candidates at all. You know, And this, to rush this through and jam this through, it's not how we're supposed to operate. And you talking about a day? We have not read anything. I'm not a rubber stamp guy. And and that don't go say anything about any of these candidates. What I'm seeing peripherally, I can see, there's some merit to them, but I haven't had a chance to digest none of this and review any of this stuff. And I don't know if any other commissioners had the opportunity to do it either.
Ma-
Go ahead, Madam Secretary.
Madam Chair, as has been the process in your staff's office upstairs, immediately upon receipt, the chair was notified. We immediately notified the Office of Chief Investigator to review his records, working together with the chief's office. All of the information was provided. The summary was, as soon as your staff could assemble it, send it out. So we followed the outline process that has been in operation with all appointments, promotion, recommendations, et cetera.
But you talking about a day or two? This is not.
When was this
proper
sent
protocol.
out? Yeah, when was this sent out to the commissioners?
It was received in the office on
Friday, last
on Friday, yes, and it was sent out before all staff departed on Friday. It
So
was
the
sent
commissioners
to
had-
all commissioners on March 17th. On March
13th.
13th, right. As soon as we received it in the office.
Okay, so it was emailed to all commissioners March 13th.
I will check the dates to confirm that.
I think because the Commissioner Woods is saying that one of them is, well, the one that we just approved
Yeah.
was dated March 16th, which would just be like Monday, I think.
Right.
Monday, 1 second. Yeah, Monday. And then you sent out the information to all the commissioners on Friday. So it's almost a week that they've had the
I
information.
will check the dates again. I'll have
Yeah,
staff
because
check them.
through the
It was
chair-
immediately sent out as normal.
Yeah, through the chair, if it's the 16th, either somebody have a typo or something.
Yeah, it could be a typo.
It could be, but
Okay. You'll check? Okay.
Yes.
Commissioner Bowman, you have a question or comment?
Yeah, my comment, first of all, is that, the one promotion we just voted on to the rank of commander, that has already taken place.
Right.
Yes.
The second, the one was beginning to be under discussion just now,
The 13th.
has not been voted on yet. And I think, given some of the concerns expressed by my colleagues, I think it would be appropriate to table that vote until the next meeting, which would be on the 26th. Would that be in order?
Madam Chair, this is the parliamentarian.
Yes, Madam Parliamentarian, go ahead.
Yeah, the proper motion is to postpone.
Sorry.
It can be postponed to next week. And if the commission is still not ready, you can postpone it again, but the proper motion is not to table.
Sorry, I meant,
Okay.
okay, to postpone that.
Proper motion is to postpone.
Okay.
And because it's a higher ranking motion than the main motion, you would vote on the motion to postpone first. And if that motion passes, then this matter then is set aside until next week. And the next week, it would be under unfinished business.
Okay, and we're only talking about one of the recommended promotions. The other one has
Madam
already,
Chair,
yes?
The parliamentarian would also like to advise the board that if the board is concerned about the approval that was just voted on, someone who voted in the affirmative, which I believe was everybody, could make the motion to reconsider, which would open that motion back up for another vote. that would be the easiest way if the board wants to go back to that approval because of concerns. Parliamentarian is not suggesting that you do that. I'm just telling you, if that's what the board wants to do, that's the way to do it.
It's a good suggestion through the chair.
The motion to reconsider could be made. It has to be made by someone who voted in favor of the motion. It does not change what you do. It only reopens that case back up for consideration. Thank you.
Madam Parliamentarian, if we do that, then that reconsideration means that we would do both of them next week?
Well, what would have to happen is this. If you do reconsideration, someone who voted on the prevailing side would say, and I quote, "Having voted on the prevailing side, I move to reconsider the motion just adopted to promote whatever the person's name is." Now, that only requires a majority vote to be adopted. If that motion for reconsideration is adopted, now you're back to the question of adopting the chief's recommendation for promotion. That motion would then need to be made to adopt the chief's recommendation, and then the motion to postpone would be made to put it off until next week.
Okay, did everybody get that?
Yep.
Okay, all right,
I'm here, I'll help you.
all right, wonderful.
I think he's
Okay, somebody else has a question?
Bowman?
Yeah, I think I had made a motion. I don't, and you seconded it.
Correct.
I
Okay,
believe there's
Second.
still one on the floor then.
okay, so, but you're, the parliamentarian made a recommendation for your motion that was not to be tabled, but to be postponed.
Postponed.
So do you want to
Right.
restate your motion?
I moved,
No, Madam Chair, he doesn't have to. You can just change it to the proper
Okay.
terminology.
Okay, all right, so the motion has been made to postpone the vote for the Lieutenant John Gardner. It was seconded by Commissioner Morris.
Correct.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Watts?
Yes, I just want to say, because I know it was an original motion on the floor, and I do understand the colleagues, and I will yield to that because we had had this discussion before, making sure we have information prior that we can digest. However, just for the record, for these two, I did review it, so I did have an opportunity to read them and review them, and that's why I have, supported the second motion and approved the first. However, I would make a suggestion to our colleagues, because we spoke about this before, about concerns having information prior. If we're talking about promotions, we want to make sure that we're not trying to rubber stamp anything. We can have a discussion moving forward to say, hey, 7 days. We have to have it here, so whatever days we want, prior to us taking any action on the promotion moving forward. Thank you.
Through the
Any
chair.
other- Go ahead, Commissioner, oh, I'm sorry. 1 second, Commissioner. Madam Parliamentarian, were you going to comment?
That wasn't myself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I had nothing to say.
Which was that wasn't myself. If Commissioner Morris had a question, I'll follow after him.
Okay, Commissioner Morris.
I just want to say, when I supported his motion, I'm fine with the first one with Captain Lori Carter. I'm fine with that one. So I'm just supporting him as to the second aspect with the second promotion.
Okay.
And through the chair, I'm
Ivy?
Yeah, I'm going to say that kind of similar to what Commissioner Morris said. The second one, I do want to kind of dig into a little bit. I have some concerns, so I'm going to stand with that one too as well.
Okay. Any other commissioners?
I could support that as well. My vote, sticking with my vote for the first, and then we can delay for the second.
Okay, well, I think that if there are other commissioners who feel that same way, we would just not do the second motion that the Madam Parliamentarian mentioned as it relates to the, having them both postponed. All right, any other comments by commissioners? Okay, all in favor indicate.
Reminder, the board is voting on the motion to postpone
Right.
the motion to adopt the chief's recommendation for promotion.
Was it, and it's to just postpone the second
That's the only one that's
recommendation?
before the board at this time, Madam Chair.
Yes. All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Now, now would I ask for a motion if they want to postpone both? Madam Parliamentarian?
Madam Chair, you could ask if any board member wants to take action on the first motion that was made to adopt. If no one says anything, then continue on with your meeting.
Okay. Is there do commissioners want to take any action on the first promotion that was approved?
No.
Hearing none? Okay, we'll move on to the next item.
And if I may, Madam
ahead.
Chair, it would behoove the department to get this to us at least 2 weeks in advance to be able to look at these. So please get that message to the chief. Do not send this stuff to us and try to jam this down like that. So we need at least 2 weeks in advance.
Okay. Now we can go on to the chief's report.
Through the chair, would you like Commander Carter to say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we since that promotion was approved, we would like to ask if Commander Lori Carter would like to say a few words.
Hello.
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 First of all, I would like to thank this board for the nomination and the support. I'm humbled by this experience. I know quite a few of the commissioners. I have been dedicated to this department for a very long time, and I promise to do the very best job that I can. Right now, I am at the Detroit Detention Center, and I know that that is a hot topic. I promise to care for the detainees in a constitutional way, to show them humility, to show them empathy when it comes to their care and getting them in there and out of there timely. Thank you for this opportunity, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'll start with the chief's report with the no critically injured members that is reported this week. There is none. Moving on to the crime data as of the 19th of March. Under homicide, currently, year to date, we're at 31. The same time last year, we were at 27. It's a change of an increase of 15%. For non-fatal shootings, we are currently at 55. The last time, last year, we were at 62. It's a reduction of 11%. For robberies, we're currently at 152 year to date. 2025 year to date, we were at 162 for a reduction of 6%. For total Part 1 violent crime, for 2026 year to date, we're at 1,844. At the same time last year, 1,817, increase of 2%. For carjacking specifically, 2026 year to date, we're at 13. The same time last year, we were at 17 for a reduction of 24%. Moving on to case closures. Charges in fatal stabbing. On March 10th, 2026, at approximately 11:54 p.m., a verbal altercation occurred at a liquor store in the 14800 block of Livernois Avenue. It is alleged that the female defendant gave the male defendant a broken glass bottle. The male defendant stabbed the male victim multiple times in his neck. The victim was privately transported to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased. On March 13, 2026, following an investigation by the Detroit Police Department, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office charged Mr. Stephen Lewis Hooks and Bernice Shanika, I'm going to say this wrong, but Chenevert, in connection with the fatal stabbing. Both were charged with premeditated first-degree murder and were arraigned and remanded to jail. Detroit and BC shut down bar after shooting. On March 17, 2026, the Organized Crime Division and Partners of BC conducted an emergency closure of the Wall Street Lounge after a non-fatal shooting and several assaults occurred at the location. The safety at bars and restaurants is a priority to the department. We want to work with business owners, ensuring they're in compliance, and we look forward to a safe summer. Charges filed in shooting outside Detroit Edison Public School Academy. On February 27, 2026, a non-fatal shooting occurred outside the Detroit Edison Public School Academy. 7th Precinct investigators, with the help of our community, news media, and the Southfield Police Department, made 2 arrests, charging both the suspect and the victim with gun charges. Several firearms were recovered after the execution of search warrants. 11th Precinct arrest and gun seizure. On March 4th, 2026, a female victim made a report that a suspect threatened her with a gun in the 18800 block of Greeley. On March 11, 2026, officers conducted surveillance and executed a search warrant. The offender was arrested, and recovered were 4 long guns, 2 handguns, ammunition, suspected cocaine, and other narcotics. The offender has been charged with possession of controlled substance, firearm possession by a prohibited person, assault with a dangerous weapon, and felony firearm. Traffic enforcement. From March 8th through March 14th, 2026, the Traffic Enforcement Unit conducted operations in the 2nd, 9th, and 12th precincts. Officers made 540 traffic stops, issued 1,198 tickets for moving violations, and 251 tickets for speeding. Narcotics enforcement. From March 9th through March 15th, 2026, the Narcotics Unit executed several search warrants, making 4 felony arrests, confiscating 4 firearms, 48 grams of cocaine, 68 grams of fentanyl, and 45 pills. Moving on to community updates. Tied to success. The Office of Community Outreach and Engagement, in collaboration with Lieutenants Mark Young and Sergeant Rodney Sizemore, is seeking donations of new and gently used ties for our upcoming Brotherhood Summit. Detroit residents can drop off donations in the lobby of Detroit Public Safety Headquarters. Donations will be accepted through March 26, 2026. Finally, prom dress pickup days. The Detroit Police Department's 9th Precinct is currently hosting prom dress pickup days for high school girls in the community. Girls can pick out any of our gently used prom dresses, shoes, and accessories. Various sizes and styles are available. On March 21st and March 28th, 2026, pickup will be available at the 9th Precinct, located at 11187 Gratiot Avenue, from 12 p.m. until 3 o'clock p.m. That concludes the Chief's report.
Thank you, Chief. Are there any questions or comments?
To the chair. I'm sorry, Commissioner Woods.
No, you go.
Commissioner Ivey, go ahead.
Can I share your flyer to social media for the tie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Chair, yes, you may.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Woods.
Without getting into the nuances of it, we've seen some horrifying things today in terms of a press conference saying that a Detroit police officer, former police officer, was accused of a serial rape, being a serial rapist. What is the statement from the chief on that? Did he make a statement on that?
Through the chair. This morning at our ComStat, Chief Bedison did address the command staff regarding this retired sergeant, and reiterated the fact that no one is above the law, and it was Detroit police that pushed ahead to make sure that this person was brought to justice. And it truly is a tragedy what happened, but everyone, including current or former law enforcement officers, is held to that standard. And we will be vehemently, we will go and do everything we can to put those criminals behind bars, regardless if they used to have a badge or currently have a badge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other
Madam
questions?
Chair,
Ma'am?
I have several questions, so just appreciate the board's patience. Thank you, Vice Chair Woods, for raising that, because I had similar questions. I'm still working to digest the information that's been coming throughout the day. Is it possible and is it acceptable to share when that individual left DPD and if that was voluntary or involuntary?
Through the chair, I don't have the information, but if you make a request, we can get that information to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And as we continue to digest the information that comes out, perhaps we'll have some additional questions. My other questions are related to some other items. So in respects to green light locations, so businesses do pay some type of fee structure in order to have DPD monitoring the green light locations. That's correct, right?
Through the chair, no, that's not correct.
That-
They pay for the installation, but there's
Okay.
no payment to the Detroit Police Department they pay to have the cameras installed through a separate third-party installer. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with Detroit Police Department.
Can I stop one? I can't hear him very well. Is his speaker working?
You got to bring it up closer.
Yeah, I think it's his microphone, though.
Yeah, through the chair, sometimes I can hear it, other times I can't.
Yeah, I know.
Don't-
It's going in and out.
Don't want to yell,
Okay,
but at the same time, I want to be respectful to the board.
okay. Maybe that would work better. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chief, for clarifying. So what the businesses are paying for is the installation of the equipment, and then they sign up for the green light program with DPD, but there's no cost for that program.
Through the chair, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Did we hear that?
It's very crackly
Where-
now.
Barely, though. Right?
It sounds crackly.
I don't know what's going on, but
Okay, thank you for that. And then if there's an incident that's captured on that footage, there's no reason why the person that's reporting that or the victim that's reporting that to DPD, there's no additional cost or anything to retrieving that as part of the investigation or anything?
Through the chair, no,
Oh, okay.
no.
All right. So there was an inquiry to me in regards to it, and I just wanted to be sure that I understood the process correctly. Thank you for that. So my next question is, victims of gun violence, are they compelled to cooperate with an investigation?
Through the chair, compelled, if there is an investigation, we elicit a response from the victims, but they're not compelled for that.
Okay. So, I mean, because we know gun violence is very traumatic, right? And there may be victims that are not ready to confront that trauma at the time or have those conversations. And so it could be that DPD is asking for a statement or wants to ask some questions, and the person's like, I'm just not ready. I don't want to do that right now. That's acceptable for the department? Would you just drop it, or there's no practice of like pursuing that victim or surveilling that victim or anything?
Through the chair. So in regards to the type of case, it would all depend upon the case. I would say that if you're investigating a case, you would like to get, due to the recollection, you would like to get it as soon as possible. We would like to get that information as soon as possible because time is of the essence. There is a victim of a crime and there is a perpetrator that is still out there. So we would definitely like to arrest the perpetrator and get as much information as we can. Now, that being said, each case is different. It would depend upon the circumstances of the case. There is no overriding blanket where, in every case we do this or every case we do that. It depends upon the circumstances, depends upon what additional witnesses, what additional evidence we have, things of that nature.
Okay, thank you for that. There's a particular case that I want to have a conversation about, so I'll follow up in regards to that. The next question I have is body-worn camera footage for an incident. So let's say there's an incident, someone makes requests for the body-worn camera footage. Is what is shared, say, through a FOIA, just the incident of the officers that arrive on scene and deal with that specific, like the core activities of the incident, or when other DPD staff, such as technicians from crime scene services, if they're wearing body-worn camera and they're collecting evidence, is all of that body-worn camera footage packaged with that incident, or is it just the immediate situation?
Through the chair, I would have to look into that to give you an accurate information, but if you do submit that question to us, we can definitely get you an answer to that.
I'll do that. And then lastly, this is my last question. I see on our facial recognition report here, so far this year, there hasn't been any data on there, and there's one now for a murder investigation. This was a suspect is a black male, it shows here. And so it doesn't seem like DPD is using facial recognition very often. If this is the first inquiry that you've made this year, and DPD is no longer using your own software now, right? You're using MSPs, Michigan State Police.
Through the chair, that is correct.
Is there a cost when DPD makes an inquiry to Michigan State Police?
Through the chair, not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. And then my last question on that is, under what circumstances is DPD using the facial recognition technology? Because again, it doesn't seem like it's often. So what is that criteria that says now we need to kind of step it up and use this technology and make an inquiry?
Through the chair, there is no stepping up. If it's a violent crime, and there has to be certain things that are vetted in order to allow an investigator to use facial recognition technology. Again, it's a tool in our toolbox, so it's not something that can always be used. Matter of fact, due to the type of technology, we have added, it has to be approved, supervisor approval, certain types of violent crimes. So some cases may fit the criteria and some may not. So that, we do follow the policy very closely in order to make sure, because we understand how sensitive this type of technology is.
Thank you for that. And I just want to say I'm glad to see DPD is not using it frequently. And so I was curious about the fact that there was so little data around it, and glad that there's some thorough vetting being done before it's being used. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, and I would just like to add to that, I asked the same question about a year ago because I noticed that it was being used very infrequently. So I could just add that it, it's been quite a while that it has not been used that often. So thank you. Also, there were several requests for questions. I would ask that you go through the secretary, any questions that you're asking of the chief or his representatives, please go through the secretary so that we have a record of it and we can keep track of those requests and the responses. Thank you. All right. Any other, anything else? Any other questions?
Madam Chair?
Yes,
Just a comment.
Commissioner Watts.
Hi, thank you for your report. Got a couple inquiries. Just wanted to know if DPD, since spring is starting tomorrow, the inquiries was DPD having any plans to beef up or have a targeted initiatives around our gas stations and after-hour facilities, especially in the last couple of weeks with the shootings there? So that's the question.
Through the chair, we're always looking at crime strategies, and some of them are for the entire department, and we also allow our precincts, our commands to do what they're seeing in regards to that. So, overall, there is a focus on that. I don't want to really get into our crime strategy per se, but just know that there are several different layers. There's the citywide layer, and then there's also, from each precinct on what they're going to do, because nobody knows those locations better than the precincts. And those commanders and captains at the precincts, they may have a little tweak to say, okay, we're also, in addition to this, we are also going to do that. So rest assured that we are definitely looking at it. We know that spring is here. We know, I think we can all safely say that we're happy that it's warming up. So, we're also going to get ready for, just the warm up.
Yes.
So.
Thank you for having that strategy in place. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Chief, for that report. We appreciate it. Next, we have on the agenda oral communications and public comments. Comments are limited to 2 minutes. Inappropriate language and comments will not be tolerated and may delay the TV broadcast and video posts. So could we have our first speaker, please?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our first speaker will be Ms. Bernice Smith, followed by Marcel Ulacia and Cassandra Rodriguez. Please state your name for the record.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
First of all, I'm going to give you some good news. Woods, you have made me proud of you, young man. And the reason why, you were on TV Sunday. After I got through looking at my church program, Kidlock, you came on next with, what is it? Sunday morning, what is it? My Hearty Mind. Now, you know what that program is because you were on it. I was quite surprised. I saw his picture and I said, I got to listen to see what he got to say. And I was quite surprised at you, young man, because the fact I have dealt with you for so long. No one knows it, but I don't need to bring it out. But anyway, your history was explained to the audience that was listening. And it stated, he spoke about the family, your bringing up in the world, and what you had gone through, all right? Also, my reasoning for bringing this up is because I had a little bit to do with your involvement. Because of my son being in the same situation you were in. And that fact was, I'm just proud of you, young man, because you've come a long way. And the fact that we all have past and we want to get rid of them, and we do better by doing better. And you did better. And I know a lot of times I get your attention and tell you, come on over here so we can talk. I know you're busy, but I am proud of you, baby. I really am. And that means him being incarcerated. And that's all I'm going to say. I was there. I saw what he did because I was visiting my son. And the fact that I was honored at Ryan Correction, and I'm very happy about that. I can remember, and that's been over 10 years ago. So I'm just letting you know it's never too late to let your past come before you and know that you did a darn good, I can't cuss out here, but you're doing now, if only they can see you at Ryan. That's all I got to say. Now, as far as my police concerned,
thank you.
And my time up?
Yes,
Spend it all on me.
I have more to say.
Thank you. Next speaker?
Hello, my name is Marcel, and I'm part of the Detroit Alliance Against Racist and Political Oppression. I know there was some confusion in the last meeting about whether or not the email was sent, so I apologize, and hopefully this time you've had the time to review the documents and the language used in the People's Body Cam Ordinance. I'm here today to demand the BOPC pass a motion to ask City Council to review their watered-down body cam ordinance and for it to involve the language of the People's Body Cam Ordinance. There's a desperate need in the community for accountability within the Detroit Police Department when they inevitably brutalize members of our community. The police take way too long to release body cam footage, and the People's Body Cam Ordinance forces them to release the footage within 7 days. And in too many cases have we seen the footage, when the footage is released, it's strategically muted and edited, which our People's Body Cam Ordinance outright bans. None of these measures are taken in City Council's watered-down body cam ordinance. This board's function is to hold DPD accountable when one of their officers brutalize the members of our community and to then enact punishment in a way that deters further injustices by the police force as a whole. One of the other functions of the board is to increase transparency between the community and the police. Both of these functions are present in our body cam ordinance. Again, it lowers the release of body cam footage to 7 days, bans editing and muting of body cam footage, and forces DPD to upload all body cam footage to a publicly accessible website. This is not asking for more. This is asking for the bare minimum from our police force, who time and time again abuse their power. Endorse the People's Body Cam Ordinance and force City Council to revise their watered-down body cam ordinance. And just to note, the officer who's a serial rapist is now a one-off issue. Just this month, a police officer was found sending himself nudes through a detainee's phone. We need to control the DPD through the community. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Hi, my name's Cassandra. I'm here as a concerned community member and also an organizer with the Detroit Community Action Committee. And I came here to support DARPA in their effort to ask this body to sponsor and endorse the body cam ordinance drafted by CPTA. And I'd like to explain why. I think that there is some clear arguments that Marcel had previously said before, but also just that in a majority Black city, it concerns us a lot about how we get policed. And I think when those of us that do come to these meetings, we want to feel like we're represented here. And part of being represented here is taking some of those community concerns and making them your own. And part of that is taking drafted ordinances from local community organizations, and even if maybe some of the wording has to get tweaked, some of it has to be looked at, reviewed, but taking that concern seriously and actually going through the formal process of trying to adopt something like that shows your community that you care. So I just want to voice my support, tell this body that they do have an option to show that support to their community, and part of that is being able to endorse some community organizations and what they put forward to you guys. So I hope you guys will support this ordinance, and I encourage everybody in the crowd, if you guys are confused about what this body cam ordinance represents and what differences there are currently with what we currently have adopted and what DARPA and CPTA want to adopt, you can grab any of the little handbills that have been passed around right now, and you'll be able to see the clear differences in what we're asking for. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
The next three speakers will be Ms. Fredia Butler, Teron Hayes, Jacob Smith.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Since September, Commissioners, since September 30th, 2025, I've been before you talking about not having any leaders addressing the issue of ICE coming to Detroit. I'm afraid that some of the leaders agree with the president, as some governors have been called out for their behavior. The president has expressed what his intents are and have demonstrated by nationalizing and deploying National Guards and Border Patrol officers in cities, and even buying concentration buildings, quote, to house catch of the day. It has been reported that several of these troops have been accused of committing murder and brutalizing citizens. In observing what is happening in other cities, our leaders, I believe, should be informing citizens of their civil rights, which will help eliminate confusion and possibly violence when ICE is deployed here. Commissioners, I have relatives in Memphis and Mississippi where ICE is operating, and the fear many are experiencing. At our monthly meeting, March 11, 2026, it was reported ICE detained a young Black man in our city. I was also told about a Black officer being called Toby, referring to the character in the film Roots. I hope these incidents are reported and investigated. No unacceptable behavior should be tolerated by officers to cause division. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speaker? Oh.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Madam Chair, may I be heard?
Yes, and please just state your name and speak into the speaker.
Yes, so my name is Teron Haynes. I live in District 5.
Okay.
First, I want to say happy birthday, Commissioner Watts. I'm going to get you your pop that I know you love drinking a little bit later. I just wanted to spend my time real quick talking about ShotSpotter. I know that contract renewal is coming up later this year, in the summer. And, excuse me. So ShotSpotter alerted in 2025 to 9,500 incidents, but only 1,300 incidents were there were only 1,300 incidents where shell casings were recovered, which calculates to about a 15% efficiency rate. ShotSpotter also doesn't increase response time. Traditional dispatch calls are about 12 minutes, with ShotSpotter dispatches being 40 minutes. And that data is actually reported by Michigan Advance, with the information coming from Sound Thinking, which is the ownership company over ShotSpotter. And I think it's troubling that we had to get that, or that agency had to get that information from the parent company or ownership company of ShotSpotter rather than DPD itself. I think it's important to recognize that the last expansion was about estimated $7 million, with an obvious likely expansion again later this year, which is equal or greater in value. In 2021, the Board of Police supported the expansion of ShotSpotter, and since there has been no evidence that ShotSpotter has impacted Detroit's crime reduction, I think it's also important to recognize that cities like Chicago, who have similar crime reductions, have done so without the use of ShotSpotter and actually have eliminated ShotSpotter from their own departments. So I would ask the board not to support this expansion and instead divert whatever monies are going to ShotSpotter currently or would go to ShotSpotter's expansion to any community intervention programs or community programs. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next speaker.
Through the chair. Bowman has a question.
Commissioner Bowman has a question.
Yeah, and I may have wanted to ask this during Chief's report. I was wondering about the ShotSpotter data we get. We get data that tells us about number of events, where it happens, when there's a response. What I don't see, and I'm wondering if we can get this information, is how many violent incidents are interrupted as a result of ShotSpotter where there was no other call, nothing else going to 911, for instance, calling for that would have brought officers over anyway, and how many cases are there where the ShotSpotter was used where it resulted in the arrest of people for a violent crime. And I know it's illegal to discharge a firearm away from a range in the city limits. That's not what I'm referring to. I mean a violent crime where someone was actually intending to shoot someone. How many arrests were resulting from ShotSpotter in that area?
DC.
Through the chair, if you could submit that, we would definitely answer your questions. I don't have that information available to me right now. We'd have to pull that and get it for you. But just to make sure that for the accuracy of your request, if you could please submit it through the secretary so we can address it for you, sir.
Okay, thank you, AC Bliss.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
I think Commissioner Ivey, did you have something?
No, I'm just layering that.
Okay.
Raised.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Through the chair, it's submitted, right? Through this question, so the secretary has it, so she can get the transcript and send it over.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All right. Hearing none, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Hello, my name is Jacob Smith. I'm with the Detroit Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, and I'm a resident of District 5. I'm speaking here today to urge the board to pass the aforementioned motion to send the new body cam ordinance language to the city council to be reviewed. The current ordinance that we have right now is at best a half measure, and it's at worst a roadblock that stands in the way of true accountability for the Detroit Police Department. The new language, as proposed, is, in my opinion, the bare minimum of transparency owed to the people of this city. This ordinance, the one that we're proposing, the People's Body Cam Ordinance, is not an impossible risk, and it's not unprecedented either. Body cam ordinances with language very, very similar to this one have been passed in other cities, like, for example, Milwaukee and Chicago. We actually based the language of this one off of the ordinance that exists in Chicago right now. Yeah, so it's possible. It's been done before. And once again, I urge you to pass the motion that was set forth at the last meeting. Detroiters deserve accountability, Detroiters deserve transparency, and Detroiters deserve community control. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Our next three speakers will be Ms. Williams, Casey Clark, and Ms. Michelle George.
Always. I speak the honest to God truth. Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to continue to vote, but talk about illegal voting like I did last week and the week before. So, like I was stating last week, so we have ex-offenders on the Detroit Police Department, 9 U.S. citizens voting. And guess what? When you got ex-offenders with new names, they can vote 2 times. This is not acceptable. You all want to talk about accountability. This is a joke. I've been coming to these meetings for 3 years. Some garbage, social media. You talk about the wrong stuff because this is not for you to discuss none of this. It's for the citizens. That's why Cohen Young started it in '74. I don't know what parts you guys don't understand. We talking about accountability. Okay, how is it possible that we have illegal immigrants on the Detroit Police Department and ex-offenders? Sitting up here on the Board of Commission meeting, I'm tired of this garbage. You all sit up like you do not know what I'm speaking about. Conrad back today, I've been talking about this. He's an attorney. So what you got to say about an ex-kingpin from the YBIs on the Detroit Police Department? It's just unacceptable. And then, I'm saying, it's the man that raped me. He's on the Detroit Police Department with a fake name that work at the 3rd. Fake name Tim. I don't care where you move him to, what department, precinct, what schedule. He still is on the Detroit Police Department with a fake name. I come here all the time. I'm tired of people with badges hacking into my devices, recording me, and you want to talk about no one is above the law. A whole lot of you guys think you are above the law. That's the bottom line. And I'm going to continue to talk about this illegal corruption. You said accountability. Last week I went to the 3rd. He gonna tell me I'm all over the place. How you gonna tell me how I feel about what's going on in my life? And how many stripes did he have on him? Make that make sense.
Next speaker.
Hi, my name is Cassidy, and I'm with the Detroit Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, along with my fellow organizers here today, urging you to support the People's Body Cam Ordinance. Detroiters deserve a policy that releases all footage of harm, makes it publicly accessible, requires release within 7 days, and prevents DPD from withholding or editing footage. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Good afternoon to the chair and to the Board of Police Commissioners. I wanted to comment, I was going to try to find out when were you all going to have the presentation about the missing children. And I wanted to ask the Deputy Chief, did they find the young girl with the dog? They did find her? So, sorry about that.
From my understanding, they did.
Okay, that's a blessing. I'm glad, because we know what's happening with exploiting children and a lot of missing children. The federal government has cut over $88 million with with funding. And so even with what they found out about Epstein, he had trafficked over 1,000 women and children. Yeah. So that ring could still go on. So I just wanted to make sure, because every time it pops up on the phone, it said a missing child. But if she's found, good, grace be to God, because we have been praying for her. I also wanted to comment, I can't comment too much on the cameras, but it was National Action Network, our national organization, that started with the George Floyd. A lot of our families is in our organization. So hopefully, I know that officer that shot at Tracy Allen 7 times, and it's nothing against DPD because we do have fine officers, but hopefully they're not going to do anything where it's not going to be any transparency, because we do not need that. We need those body cams to go on, and I know a lot of our families, National Action Network, a lot of the families are in our organization that we were a part of the legislation going on with those body cams. So hopefully that's not going to happen. I know I'll be going to New York in a few weeks, and we'll be able to get some federal information on that. So hopefully that's not happening. But I don't know about the officer. Hopefully he's not still an officer that shot at Tracy Allen 7 times. She could have died, and thank God she did not. So I just want to make sure we'll keep up with making sure that does not happen. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Madam Chair, we're going to Zoom. Our first caller is former Commissioner William Davis. After Mr. Davis, we'll go to Ms. Tara Brown.
Good afternoon. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to start off by wishing young Commissioner Beverly J. Watts happy birthday. Also, I'd like two of my questions I was going to ask Commissioner Woods asked. So that's good. So it saves me from asking. Because I think we was asking about a policy, years ago about we should have the information. Y'all should have the information at least 2 weeks before y'all voting on it, on a promotion for an officer. Because I was one of the few commissioners that regularly voted against officers that had bad records. Y'all don't have to be afraid not to vote against somebody. I never was. Also, I think we need to be making sure that we're not using city resources to represent bad officers. Like if an officer ultimately is determined to have raped, including their own stepdaughter and other young people, that's horrible. We should, not be using any of our city resources for officers that rape, murder, or sell drugs. So hopefully this board will continue to do better. And I was pleased to see that Commissioner Williams made it to the meeting last week. Of course, none of y'all will ever be able to beat my record because I was already retired when I got on the board. But y'all have a great day.
Next speaker.
Good evening, Commission. Happy birthday to District 5 Commissioner Beverly Watts. And yes, Daryl Woods did cover some of my questions. But my other issue is there was a woman that came in here, I believe, on January 7th. I won't say her first name. Her name, too, was Miss Brown, no relation. She said she had been sexually assaulted. She had been left in a horrible way, and police were going to follow up with her. They followed up with her and basically closed her case. It doesn't appear the gentleman that assaulted her or allegedly assaulted her was interviewed. There was no follow-up on her. She has been going to meetings. As a matter of fact, she called out some of you commissioners at Tuesday's city council meeting. She called out the women on the city council, the women on the board of police commissions, because she doesn't feel like she's getting justice. Why, if sexual assault cases, or any cases for that matter, but particularly sexual assault cases, are going to be closed, why is there not an officer designated to sit down with these people and tell them, we realize that it is your thought that you were sexually assaulted, or you feel that you were sexually assaulted, based on the evidence we've located, based on what we found, it's inconclusive, it's unfounded, it's whatever, but this case will not be moving forward. Somebody needs to have that sit-down conversation face-to-face. The other part of that is, if somebody is sexually assaulted and they are asking for the body cam video when they spoke to the police or anything pertaining to that sexual assault, Comrade Mallett, they should not be expected to pay for that. Somebody should either bring them into the police department and let them see it for free, or it should be sent to them for free. This woman has gone to several meetings. People are discussing it online. They are asking questions and wondering why she is not getting resolution to this alleged sexual assault. Again, can somebody look into that, particularly the women on this commission that she specified by names that were abandoning her?
Go ahead, Commissioner Woods.
Yep. DC Bliss, if is department communicating with those who are alleged victims to be able, like, if a case don't go forward, to have a conversation with them and being able to say, this is the reason why we can't go forward. I'm probably sure you probably can't do it in every situation based upon the uniqueness of the circumstances, but I'm saying as a practice, are we communicating with those alleged victims in a way that is sensitive?
Through the chair, it's my understanding that there is open dialogue between the investigator and also the victim in regards to the case status, if there's any concerns or anything that they're addressed. Additionally, we do have the family unit that will reach out to victims and then, follow up on certain aspects of it. So if there's been a deviation to that, then I need to know about it, but it's my understanding that those conversations are being had. No one is left out there in an unknown state.
Can you report to us through the secretary in terms of that, that the communication is happening more often than not, that when a case is not going forward, that there's a level of sensitivity in there and how they're approaching alleged victims in these cases and stuff, whether it be a sexual assault, homicide, or whatever the major crime may be.
Through the chair. But I do know that we do address the victims. We have a very robust system on keeping in contact, but I'll make sure when the secretary submits it to us that we address it and get it to you.
We submitting it to you right now. So we don't have to, you're here, you could take a note and saying there's something you want. It's on the record. Now the secretary can follow up with it, necessary, but I don't see the back and forth in terms of having to, you're right here listening. And so it's being submitted to you right now verbally.
Understood, sir.
All right.
And
Through the chair. Morris? Yes.
Yeah, just following up what he said. The department, we need to follow up with this case to make sure that the communication is taking place. It's kind of insulting to me. Yesterday, the Board of Ethics released a finding. Members of the Detroit Police Department made false allegations and made a false complaint against me to the Board of Ethics to open up an investigation. The Board of Ethics tossed it out. It's insulting when you see members of the department dedicating themselves to investigations for stuff that didn't happen, but closing cases on stuff that did happen. We got to get it together. We're the Board of Police Commissioners. We are here to hold the department accountable. And if there's anything that we did or any way that we was negligent, wasn't intentional, we apologize. We rely on the personnel that come before us to give us accurate information and to follow up. So we got to get it together. That's all I got to say.
Any other comments, Commissioner Carter?
No, I was just going to say, through the chair, that this particular alleged victim came down here, and she opened herself to all, to just exposed herself. And I think that it's incumbent upon us to make sure that she gets what she needs. If somebody hasn't sat down and spoke to her, we should know that. So I'd like to know if someone I'd like to know what happened, and if she received the communication that she should have regarding the case and why it was closed. So that's my comment, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Watts,
on that point, and also could you let us know?
could you speak into the speaker, hon?
It's on. I don't know if something happening with the sound today. But also, could you let us know who sat down with this victim? Because Commissioner Carter is correct, she came down, and if you're remembering now, she really opened herself up, very passionate, put everything out here, you know, in front of us and in front of the public. And so from our perspective, we just assumed and we were assured when she left here where someone's going to sit down with her, sensitivity and all the information. So I'm surprised to know that that did not occur in that fashion, and more importantly, we didn't get a report back. So please let us know not only when, but who sat down and met with her. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All right, go ahead, Commissioner Ivey.
Just want to speak as one of the women of the board, an apology to Ms. Brown if she felt unprotected by the women of this board. And I believe most of the women on this board and the men on this board, as was just spoken, will diligently make sure whatever she missed get caught, and whatever she needs, she shall get through this process with the department. So we will be diligently looking into it for her.
Thank you. I'm sorry, no other commissioners? All right, hearing none, the next speaker?
We'll go back into Zoom. Our next speaker will be the caller with the last 3 digits, 039. Can you unmute yourself? Caller with the last 3 digits, 039.
What up, Joe? What up, Joe? Can you hear me clearly? Huh?
Yes, yes.
You hear me? Okay. Scotty Bowman, pay close attention. Comrade Mallett, I told you about the Detroit tape. I know you done heard about it, so I'm getting ready to start planning. I see I got to take a different approach to this. Now, Nene won't what the F she won't. Y'all got Willie Bill sitting up there on the board, along with all the rest of you elected Detroit Board of Police Commissioner members. And the appointed ones was appointed by a cheated-in mayor. Now, all elected positions in the city of Detroit have been cheated in, according to my investigation. And I'm not lying about you. Yeah, you know, so now I got to do what I got to do to get Nene what she wants, what she asked for, requested, and deserves. And y'all been blocking her from getting what she wants. Talking about Lawrence Garcia, talking about Lawrence Akbar, Melanie White, Willie Bill. And I can run down the list. But now we're going to go to 2026, and I'm going to start talking about all these elected officials in the city of Detroit. Janice Winfrey has been cheating in Detroit elections. Earliest I can prove is 2020, but for 15 years, I believe. Now, my investigation is over with. So now I'm going to do what I got to do, get Nene what she wants. Y'all didn't want to give it to her, so that's why I took it. Now I'm getting ready to wave it in your face. And whoever don't like it can smoke. Yeah, double. Yeah,
Our next speaker will be demo, and after demo, Zoom user, and then we do have one person in the audience to speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My name is Jade Slaughter. I'm a resident of District 5. I'm calling in to voice my support for the People's Body Cam ordinance as put forward by the CPTA and Detroit Alliance Against Racist Political Repression. I think just transparency and accountability is really important for any police department, and I just want to voice my support for that. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Demo.
Hello, my name is Devin. I'm with the Detroit Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. Yeah, I am here today to just voice my support for the People's Body Cam Ordinance. I would like for the Board of Police Commissioners to do whatever they can to put this in front of City Council's face and urge them to vote on it because the current one is not doing enough for Detroiters. Thank you so much.
Mr. Smith.
1 second. Commissioner Woods?
Yeah, yes, Madam Chair. I was just, I was kind of alarmed by the previous caller, not this previous caller, but by Mr. Crawley offering his private parts or telling people to go to somebody's private part. I think that was disgraceful. And I think that is, we have a child in the room, we got women in the room, and people and that stuff, and I think it's disgraceful. We don't know who's listening. All this stuff is public, and we have to make sure that that is not on our videos and things of that sort, but that was just shameful to say something that despicable in a public meeting.
Any other?
So, and speaking of Open Meetings Act, which is what you're talking about, you guys violated the Open Meetings Act 3 weeks ago, I believe it was, because of, I'm not going to call her a dinosaur because the oldest person in the room here spoke to me, not through the chair. So, Commissioner DeWash, whenever I speak to people directly, what do you tell me? Through the chair, correct? So if a person who's friends with you speaks to people directly, you should tell her through the chair as well. So there's a part of the Open Meetings Act that says a person should not be excluded from a meeting except for cause of a breach of peace in that meeting. And according to Conrad Mallett at one of the other meetings, you have to give a person a warning, correct? Corporation counsel, you have to give a person a warning. Yes. So if you put a person out of a meeting without giving them a warning and you use force, like your officer did with me, the deputy chief cannot instruct a border police commissioner who's an elected official to put a person out of a meeting. So Ms. Brown, from before I've been working with Ms. Brown, who's been sexually assaulted, I don't believe anybody up here, sorry to say it like that, but none of the women up here are really standing with her because she's been sexually assaulted, and we don't have nobody's even requested that her rape kit be given out to her or anything like that. She has to get her FOIA. And so I see Commissioner Williams staring at me, Lavish Williams, and I'm going to bring your lawsuit one day. You know I got your lawsuit. I don't know why you staring at me like you upset or something. You know you
Can you speak to the chair and what is your question?
Now, like I was saying,
I'm
I can
asking
speak
you
to the
to
board.
speak to the chair.
I'm speaking to the board. So like I'm saying, there's a
Okay.
commissioner up there that's cheated in. I have a lawsuit on it. Also, Officer Deion Dawson, I will ask anybody on this board who has some kahunas to file a motion to receive his disciplinary history. Officer, his badge number is 389. So, Ms. Garnier, I don't appreciate you saying that I have any sexual relationship with anybody I bring here. I have tons of women who anyway, so she told me what you discussed with her on the phone call. So I have plenty of women who I work with. I have the utmost integrity. So my thing is, the officer's doing bad work. I met that woman the day she called me and I went into action, and the next day I had to serve this officer with a PPO because he is a danger to the community. He threatened to shoot his girlfriend in the head. And so also, we need to do more for the homicide cases that are wide open, that are not being solved. And to my commissioner, I left you a voicemail. I'm sure you didn't get it. And also, I want to say EPU and the mayor's office and on city council need body cameras because they are violating people's rights.
Next speaker.
Madam Chair, that's your last speaker.
Yes, Commissioner Morris.
I did notice that the Executive Protection Unit that is assigned to the city council and the mayor and things of that such are DPD members, and they are interacting with the public. Why aren't they wearing body cameras? That's what I would like to know, DC.
Through the chair, I can look into what their processes are when they wear body-worn cameras, or if they, during the course of their duty with the council members, if they're required to have them on. And I'll get that to you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions,
Through the
comments?
chair, I do have a question. It had to be over a month ago now. There was a request in a meeting of DPD to provide the board with a draft of a proposal for security for our meetings so that we could review that and then vote on if we accept that as acceptable security. And I haven't seen that yet. Has that come into the office at all? Or is DPD still working on it?
Commissioner Woods, I think he might.
Yeah, through the chair, I did speak to the chief personally about that, and he said that he will get something to us very soon. He's working something out to be able to make sure that it's accommodated.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Watts?
Board Secretary, do we have any update? I know we had asked a couple of weeks ago, follow up on the Dawson case. Do we have any update?
Through the chair, Commissioner Watts, the last I talked to Internal Affairs, the detective assigned to the case that Mr. Smith referred to was continuing to be an open investigation. They had reached out to the complainant. The complainant had not responded on that particular day. It has been a few days since I sent the email to you. I think it was you and Commissioner Williams, correct? So I can follow up. I know they were moving expeditiously because of a date that was mentioned of March 20th. And that's all I know at this time.
Thank you. If you can definitely let us know, because I mean.
I will. Immediately after this meeting,
Okay,
I'll reach out to McGinnis.
Any other? Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, there's actually two matters I wish to address, both of them related to our serial commentator. I don't mean that in a bad way, because I definitely was one myself. Reuben Crowley. One of his major issues had been and has been and remains concern about a proper investigation into the unnatural death of Kenesha Coleman. And there have been other cases where people have brought up dissatisfaction with conclusions surrounding unnatural deaths, where the official finding was suicide, and where arguments are made that evidence supports not suicide, but other parties being responsible for the death. There's a systemic issue that is completely out of the board's control, and that is the county, when the coroner, who works for the county, not even for the city of Detroit, makes a finding of suicide, that any evidence that may have been more deeply investigated had it been a ruling of homicide does not get investigated. And this is often a policy of the Michigan police, again, outside of this department. And that is where we outsource our forensics. So for those reasons, there is a problem. Whether or not in this particular case there was an error, there is a problem, and it's a systemic problem, but it is not a problem that us as the Board of Police Commissioners can solve. So I just wanted to put that out there for people who feel like perhaps we're not doing anything about it or ignoring these concerns, that often there are just things that we can't do and that other people can do, but it's not up to me to tell them what to do. Secondly, there is the other matter was the allegation that I somehow got into office as a result of voter fraud. That is a rather, requires quite a stretch, given that I ran completely uncontested. And when I mean completely uncontested, no one submitted a simple one-page form to be a write-in candidate against me. We had someone who didn't have sufficient signatures. That person could have still run against me. Nobody ran against me. There were write-in votes that didn't get counted because nobody who had those write-in votes submitted the form. So I don't see any way possible that my getting in this office had anything to do with any voter fraud. So just to close that.
Any other, Commissioner Woods?
I think Corporation Counsel.
Corporation Counsel.
Then I'll go after him.
Madam Chairperson, thank you. And to Commissioner Bowman, I do want to, I appreciate what you said about the coroner's office, but I do want to point out, some of the board members were here, you were not. Chief Beddison actually, Commissioner Bowman called in the Michigan State Police to take a look at the homicide investigation that was done by DPD involving Kenesha Coleman. They looked through it thoroughly, re-interviewed the police officers, other witnesses, and then the police chief, myself, Reuben Crowley, and other members of the family sat down with MSP and went through the file, and MSP reiterated why they came to the same conclusion as DPD. Granted, Mr. Crawley and the family were not satisfied. They rejected the conclusion of DPD. They rejected the conclusion of MSP. But I just want to point out that the department took very, very, very seriously the suggestion that there had been a mistake made and went to what I think were extraordinary efforts to check and recheck. These are very, very difficult cases. It's very, very difficult for the family. But I just want, in that particular instance, DPD went far and above and beyond to be sure that no mistakes had been made. I'm not suggesting that that will occur in every single instance, but in that particular instance, Commissioner Bowman, it was an extraordinary effort, and it was done in a really, really, really transparent manner.
Through the chair, can I ask
Commissioner Bowman?
the Corporation Counsel a question? Yeah. My question then is it possible? I mean, I assume somewhere there was a record kept of this correspondence, this meeting that you described. Is it possible for me to see some kind of summary of it or transcript or something of that nature?
You know what? I will ask Chief Bedison what records were kept, what conclusions were drawn, what the written record associated with that actually is, and I'll find out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Woods, and then
Yeah.
Commissioner Ivey.
Yeah, and through the chair, and we were briefed on it, heavily on it, and I'm sure that the department don't have a problem giving you a briefing on it. You know, it doesn't require, a lot of this. A lot of these antics as it relates to the voting fraud, that's the alleged voting fraud supposed to happen in the city of Detroit, and being delivered to 45 and 47 and all of that stuff. He said he talked to Donald Trump about it and his team about it and all that type of stuff. So if you want to take that serious, I wouldn't even get off into those verbal gymnastics. Someone wants to say that Detroit is committing voter fraud and then giving it to the President of the United States and fall into a political narrative. We're not here to play politics. We're here to be able to serve the citizens of the city of Detroit to the best of our knowledge. So I wouldn't get off into that rabbit hole. You just keep your ear open.
Any other commissioners? Commissioner Ivey,
Through the chair, Corporal Counsel, is it possible that I can get some of that information, if possible, on this case? Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
Okay, any other comments, questions? All right, next, there are no presentations to the board. Could I have the report from the board secretary?
Through the chair, the documents received as incoming communication are noted on the agenda and are under the tab. The announcements for this week for the upcoming meetings are our next meeting, the board's next meeting is next week, Thursday. I'm sorry. I apologize. Thursday, March 20, 3 p.m. here at Public Safety Headquarters. The April community meeting is Thursday, April 9th, 6:30 p.m. in the 9th Precinct, and the location is listed on the agenda. And those are the matters from the Board Secretary's office, well, the BOPC office for this week. Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I just have one follow-up for the secretary for, just to make sure that this request is on the record. There was a request that came through on Monday requesting an urgent tour of the crime scene services for the commissioners. And there was at least one commissioner that also indicated that they wanted that as well. Is there an update on that? We were hoping to have that earlier this week, and we're at Thursday now.
Through the chair, that request was made immediately to the chief's office. I spoke with the chief of staff, and I will follow up immediately after this meeting. I do not have an update other than that, but I was told that it would be coordinated and arranged as soon as possible.
Thank you. Through the chair, is it possible just to check and see if the chief has an update on that, or?
Thank you. Any other reporting, Madam Secretary?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I didn't hear that.
That concludes?
That concludes the report. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Under unfinished business, there's a motion. Do you want to make that motion, Commissioner Camille?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this is the motion being brought back from last meeting, which was postponed to this meeting. The motion that the board submit a memorandum to City Council requesting that they revisit the ordinance related to the release of police video footage and to support the proposed language from CPTA and DARPA for amending the ordinance.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Woods?
Yes. What is the difference with this ordinance and our policy that we established? I know that we put a policy together as it relates to what our wishes were as a board last year, and I know we said up to 30 days, in that particular policy. I'm satisfied with our policy, without question. And if there need to be some further discussions as it relates to our policy, and not trying to dictate to City Council as it relates to what their policies and what ordinances that they want to put out as a city, but I'm happy to take a look at our policy if there's some room for improvements. But I thought that we came up with a very powerful compromise as it relates to up to 30 days, and put some other languages in there as well.
Any other comments, commissioners?
Madam
Commissioner
Chair?
Watts?
Yes, I just want to I want clarification. So this would just be not demanding City Council, this is just a recommendation, correct? Or asking,
Through the chair.
not a demand, correct?
Through the chair, correct. It's not a demand, it's a request for City Council to open back up the ordinance language and consider the language that is being submitted by CPTA. No, of course, the BOPC, we don't approve ordinances, so this is a show of support for the efforts that are being submitted to City Council for their consideration.
Plus, still, just have another question. So basically, my understanding is I did read from last Thursday, so I know it says up to 30 days. However, I know with the 7 days, and Commissioner Camille, if you can correct me, it does give provisions, because sometimes you can't release it in 7 days. Could you explain that part? Because I know sometimes you may have the Wayne County prosecutor that may need more time, and you may have DPOA or anyone. So I think just give clarity on that one, where there are exceptions to the rule of the 7-day.
Thank you. Through the chair, to Commissioner Watts, that's correct. So the draft does have language in there to allow for an extension of the release of the footage under certain circumstances and through a very specific process.
What is those
Any other
circumstances
comments or
and
questions?
processes?
Before you do, I just want to make one comment. This motion that you just read does not say consider. It says support the proposed language. So it's stronger than suggesting that you consider the language that is in the DARPA and CTPA that they've submitted. So it's not consider, which is what you just said, Commissioner Camille. So I just want to make that clear. That's what the motion says. It says to support. Okay, Commissioner, yes, go ahead.
I just want to clarify, as I'm reading this, I'm thinking that support is referring to the BOPC supporting, not demanding that city council support, but that the board is showing support.
Okay, all right. I'm reading it as city council. I think I'm interpreting it both ways. Okay, go ahead, Commissioner Bowman.
Yeah, I was actually at a committee meeting that the city council held, where at the meeting at which they voted to move the existing ordinance out of committee with a recommendation of support. And at the time, there were public comments being made, and I was among those making a comment. And I had supported that with the understanding that it was not the final product, but it was a beginning. And Councilmember Callaway, who had, I believe, was the mover to move that forward, had said that it was not perfect, that it needed amendment, but this would at least kind of give it a foothold in the city council's, cadre of ordinances, that it would get it there, but it would definitely be needing to be amended to actually be stronger and have basically fewer loopholes in it. And that was the reason actually many of the other people who, from CPTA, for instance, objected to it, was because it did not go far enough. And now I'm with them, and I'm saying that it does not go far enough, that what they have currently with the on the books. And I think taking Councilmember Callaway's lead on this, she did say it needed some amending, and effectively this is the type of change that I believe would be appropriate. Thank you.
Commissioner Woods?
Yes, I would like to, I know there was a lawsuit regarding this ordinance. Am I correct, Corporation Counsel? What the ordinance, the original ordinance that went in, that I think DPOA or the union filed a lawsuit against the.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. So, what was the resolution?
I think it's still in court.
It's still in court? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Commissioner Carter, did you want?
Through the chair, and I finally received the email. My email was wrong on the BOPC website, so I just want to put that out there, that I did not receive the email last week. So my only issue is that I have not compared what the city council ordinance is and what the people's ordinance is. So I would like that kind of comparison to take place. If we are to vote today, I would recommend that we just support opening the, without the people's ordinance. So supporting opening up the ordinance or reviewing the ordinance or whatever it is, but without the people's ordinance. So I support opening up, looking at it again, looking at the ordinance again. But I don't necessarily, because I want to make an educated decision, I don't necessarily support using the people's ordinance. So that's my comment.
Through the chair.
Commissioner?
Given what Commissioner Carter has shared and the understanding that commissioners would want to digest this further as well as compare to the ordinance that's on the books, I would put forth a motion to postpone to next week.
Second.
A second.
Is next week enough time for everyone?
Well, it's no.
Well,
We
it
have
goes
to do
on.
it
It
next
has
week.
a week actually.
Madam
All right, go ahead,
Okay,
Commissioner Watts.
Yes, yeah, I support it, even though I was ready to move forward.
Okay. Commissioner Camille made a motion to postpone this motion, right? And Commissioner Watts seconded?
No. Oh, yes, whoever. Yes, okay.
Or
I did.
I thought you did say, or was it Commissioner Carter?
Did you
Since
second
you're
that?
asking.
Sure.
Sure, okay, Commissioner
No,
Carter.
I said I was ready to go forward today.
Okay, Commissioner Carter seconded. Any further discussion?
Through the chair.
Yes,
If,
Commissioner.
and we can work out the details on this after. I would like to work with the secretary to make sure that the current language can get pulled down easily for the commissioners and distributed to everyone so everyone has the maximum amount of time to review.
Thank you. Commissioner Woods?
And through the chair, and can you find out if there's still a pending lawsuit on the ordinance itself?
secretary.
Yeah,
We can ask the secretary.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
send me the.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madam Secretary, did you get that? You
So
wanna-
noted, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Under new business, you have a motion by Commissioner Watts.
Yes. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for the Board of Police Commissioners to approve a request requesting additional SMUN, which is funding, which is a small stipend increase for the Board of Police Commissioners.
No, I'm sorry, there's one other motion.
For your policies.
Oh,
For your
policy.
We're going to do
Went straight to the money.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes. Going for the gusto. That's Commissioner Morris. He made me do it.
Oh, yeah, right. You just turned 21. Go ahead.
Motion to adopt the policy directive 203.16 Extreme Risk Order ERPO Act.
Okay, a motion has been made.
I'm
Second.
sorry, do you have to make a motion, or is
Right.
that the direction?
It should be the direction.
Motion from the committee.
Yeah,
That's what I
it's a
was thinking.
recommendation from the committee,
Yes,
Right, not a
so we
motion.
don't need a second.
correct.
So all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now we're going to, no, we're going into closed session. Closed session pursuant to Section 81A of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15268A, the department's request for the board to consider administrative leave without pay but medical benefits for Police Officer Karima Yap, badge 4360, assigned to the 2nd Precinct. And I need a roll call vote. Do I need that to go into closed session?
No.
Okay.
To come out.
I need a motion to go into closed session.
So move.
It's been moved by Commissioner Wood, supported by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion?
Madam
All-
Chair.
Yes.
I'm sorry, are we going to come back out and go back in for the?
No. The audience is going to go out.
What I'm asking is, are we going to discuss both
Yeah.
at the same time? So should we?
Oh, you,
Yeah.
okay. So let me go to the second one, and this way we can make one motion to go into closed session. So we have a second closed session pursuant to Section 8F of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15268F, applicant Justin Borgner. It doesn't say what this closed session is for. Madam Secretary.
It's a applicant denial by the department, and the applicant can appeal. It's an applicant, DPD applicant
Appeal.
appeal to the board to
Okay.
reconsider.
Okay, so we will do those two sessions, and now I need a motion.
Madam Chair?
Yes?
Yeah, this is the parliamentarian.
Yes, Madam
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just want to make sure that the person from the second closed session is not in the first closed session.
Right,
Even though you're doing one closed session,
at a time.
they cannot be in on that first closed session.
Right.
Correct, yes, we will make sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So we will have two closed session. The first one, and only those individuals that are involved in that closed session will be in here in this room. And then the second one will be a separate one. So a motion to go into closed session.
So move.
It's been moved by Commissioner Wood, seconded by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Order.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 2 minutes. I'd like to return to open session and call the meeting to order. May I have the roll call, please, Madam Secretary?
Commissioner DeWalsh,
Present?
Commissioner Wood,
Present.
Commissioner Bowman,
Present.
Commissioner Mill,
Present.
Commissioner Carter,
Here.
Commissioner Ivy,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Present.
Commissioner Morris,
Present.
Commissioner Watts,
Present.
Commissioner Williams.
Present.
Sitting present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. As it relates to the first closed session, which was the department's request for the board to consider administrative leave without pay, but with medical benefits for police officer Karima Yap, badge 4360, assigned to the 2nd precinct. What is the pleasure of the board? Oh, Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, I would move to deny the chief's recommendation to suspend without pay.
Support.
You don't have to make.
Okay, we don't need a motion. All we need is for there not to be a motion. Just so you know, right?
Yeah, but he could do it.
I mean, you could still do it if you want. Okay, a motion has been made to deny the request of the chief, seconded by Commissioner Bowman, seconded by Commissioner Morris. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries to deny the recommendation of the chief. Our second session is related to applicant Justin Bognier, and he's appealing to the board for reconsideration of his application. What is the pleasure of the board? Yeah, we do need a motion.
No, you don't. There's no action. So he's,
Right, it would be the same.
yeah.
Did you want to make a motion?
Sure, I'd like to move to grant the appeal.
There's no second? So the motion
Fails.
fails.
Madam Chair, I move for adjournment.
No, we have one more item, sorry.
Parliamentarian is on the phone.
Okay, go ahead. Madam Parliamentarian?
Jackson,
We go, come and go.
you asked to be heard?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. When you came back, I was not made a panelist. So I was trying to interrupt, but I couldn't do it.
Here, can you put her on the speaker?
Dr. Jackson, 1 second. Dr. Jackson? 1 second.
It's put up to the speaker.
Put it on your speaker.
Put it on the speaker.
No, but there was no vote, there was no motion for that one, there had to be, yes. Okay, I think I understand, we needed a 2/3 vote for the second one.
No, it failed.
It failed.
For the first
Yeah,
one.
you
Oh,
didn't get
okay.
a second.
What is she saying?
For the first one.
Trying to get her.
Just put it on the
Just put it on
speaker.
No, the
on
first
your
one,
phone.
no motion,
We attempt,
there was no action.
we attempted to put her on speaker, but she has background noise. They're trying to elevate her to panelist on Zoom as she was before closed session. Okay. Is it back on there?
We pretty much got this.
Can you speak, Dr. Jackson?
Okay. I think we're good.
It's on her, it's on
Yeah.
her end.
I counsel, through the chair,
Speaking of my.
through the chair, Mr. Attorney, those two solid,
I would defer to, is she on the phone?
Yes.
it's,
Yeah, well, give the phone to the chairman.
yeah.
Give it to the chair.
Lydia,
To the chair.
Lydia, give the phone to DeWatt.
Just very quickly say what she said.
Yes.
Or the meeting is the noise in the background.
Okay. All right.
There's no noise in the background.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Jackson, it's Eva. Oh, yeah, I can. I can't hear you.
You want me to come off mute or stay on mute? What you guys want me to do?
We wanted to hear what your opinion was of the two.
Okay, so the motion to deny the chief's recommendation is not in order. What the board, all the board has to do is take no action. But if you don't do anything, then that is the proper action. You don't want to adopt the chief's recommendation.
Okay,
But a motion to deny the chief's recommendation is not in order.
okay,
The proper action would be to do nothing.
okay.
Don't make any motion, and that will then take care of itself.
All right. I think that's what we were thinking as well. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Making a big deal out of it. I don't want you to continue doing this in the future.
Right.
So I need to make sure you understand why I'm interrupting.
Okay.
I
Because if you
will.
do it today, then you might do it again.
Okay. No, we'll clearly, we were not to make a motion to deny the chief's recommendation. Just no action is how we deny, or, not accept it. We will not do that in the future because it's not proper. Okay, Commissioner Bowman?
I think you may have, the second thing you said may have answered my question, but I just want to be clear. So currently, it will be on the record, or will we somehow make it as if it didn't happen? So I'm not quite sure how that works.
I think we just need to withdraw the motion, I guess. Withdraw the
But-
motion and just, what is your question?
I mean, because I know if I made the motion, it hadn't been seconded, it belongs to me and I can withdraw it. If it's been
Right.
seconded,
Yes, let's just-
then it belongs to the body, and the body voted on it. So that's how I'm trying to figure out parliamentary-wise what happens.
Not a proper motion, so we have to withdraw both motions, is what I'm saying, is what I'm hearing. It was not proper. We were not to vote at all. If you don't make a motion, it's inaction, that means it was not accepted.
I guess I can do it as a motion to reconsider.
No, I think we just need to withdraw both motions.
So I move that the board withdraw both out-of-order motions.
Thank you. Seconded?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we withdraw the motions that were made, the improper motions. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, both motions, both
I abstain,
recommendations.
because I don't understand what we just did.
Okay,
Withdrew everything.
Madam Chair, abstain.
okay, okay.
Motion to adjourn.
The final item under new business, Commissioner Watts.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion for the Board of Police Commissioners to approve requesting additional funds for fiscal year '27 for a monthly stipend to be increased per month to $1,130 for police commissioners and appointed commissioners, and increase for $1,464.95 for the chairperson of the board. That's the motion.
A motion has been made. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, a motion was made by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Point of order.
Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, I just want to know, is it and we got Corporation Counsel here, you may already know the answer. Is it ethical and legal for us to vote on our own stipend?
It's just a request.
It's a request. We're not approving it for ourselves. It's a request to City Council.
And Madam Chair, since the discussion, if she's done, and this request, I understand in the past have been made several times, but just for the record, The last time a stipend was increased, I'm told, is 2012.
14 years ago. Okay, any other
Discussion
discussion?
through the chair.
Yes.
I'm supportive of the motion and the request for this request to go forward to City Council. I understand that we're on a timeline, which is why this is being brought forward today. I would have liked to, because the community, the public they're our boss. We work for them. I would have liked to have an opportunity to get some feedback from community on what they thought about this. But understanding that we are on a timeline, I am, good with moving forward.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yes, through the chair.
Go ahead,
Just thank you,
Commissioner.
Commissioner Camille. And through the chair, some of us, this was requested well over a month or two ago, so there was that time. But of course, finance and budget. I think it was a difficult difference in how the process would go forth. And to this point now, as I'm told, and since we do have our budget hearing next week, this is where the short notice came in. So again, I have the same sentiment, and so as the other commissioners. We always want to be transparent. We always want to make sure that we have the voice of the people. But I can tell you, in City Council, a couple of members here, City Council, some of the people have already been before City Council and the mayor's office stating the same. Not an amount, but just stating, increase or requesting that.
And through the chair, I'm one of the of that because in the same in my community, it's been asked that it happens. So
And if I just may add, since 2012, it's been requested 3 or 4 times. Commissioner Bell used to request it almost every other year. So just so you know, it's not the first time we've brought it before the community. Go ahead.
Yeah, and my understanding, you guys had a budget hearing yesterday, and this came up during there, and you had the opportunity for public comment during that time?
No, this was not yesterday. It was a budget working session.
Working session, so-
Preparing for Mondays.
Okay,
But
all
we've
right.
had budget hearings throughout
Yeah, okay.
the
All right.
past
Through the
couple of
chair,
months.
just a reminder that when it goes forward, we don't know if it'll be approved. Like you said, it's been
No.
requested several times in the past, and no increase has happened since 2012. Be assured the public will have an opportunity to weigh in at that time.
For sure.
This is just simply a request.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries unanimously.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair? Madam Chair,
Yes.
earlier there was a question regarding when Sergeant Wagner retired from the department. I have that information for you and the board. It was December 1st, 2017, and it was a full service retirement.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. All right. Motion to adjourn made by everyone. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone, for being here.